Welcome back, guys, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about insurance in America. Car insurance, health insurance. We all know the costs have gone up. A lot of people are actually losing coverage, simply just being dropped by their insurance, and other people just flat out can't afford it anymore. Some deductibles and total out of pocket on the year are so high that some people just can't fathom paying that much and would rather take the risk to go without insurance. We'll talk more about this, but first let's get into some of these clips and see what other people are saying.
Okay, I'm going to hop on a soapbox for just a couple of minutes and tell you why I, a physician, do not have health insurance in the traditional sense for my family this year. Last year was frustrating enough. $17.50 a month for my family of 5, cheapest plan available on the healthcare exchange, just wanting truly catastrophic coverage, HSA eligible, with a $4,000 deductible for an individual, $8,000 for family, and probably a copay after that for a high out-of-pocket max. So we were spending over $20,000 a year, and unless something bad happened, we're getting really nothing. Preventative care visits for my kids, but my wife and I pay cash to wellness physicians, and so really we're not getting much. It was there just for emergencies. Well, this year it went up another $200, close to $2,000 a month, and I just couldn't stomach it. Paying $24,000 a year, and then having to pay $4,000 or $5,000 more to hit a deductible before there was any true benefit. That's insane. And I won't go down the rabbit hole of what I've seen in my private practice in terms of markups and lab costs, but just didn't sit well. So I contemplated going totally uninsured, just self-insuring, putting aside $1,000 or $2,000 a month just in case something happened. I chickened out on that, but we did short-term insurance. So it's a 3+1, so a 4 total month short-term medical insurance, and it's truly catastrophic only. But at most, $5,000 out of pocket if something bad happens, if there's a hospitalization, and so much easier to stomach. We still pay for our own primary care visits if we use them, so we'll have to pay for kids' pediatric visits, but that's really the only thing we're using it for. So this system's broken, something's wrong with it. I just need to vent for a minute.
All right, I gotta hop in for a second, guys. This is a freaking doctor, and he's worried about his coverage and it costing too much. A doctor. For anyone that's watching this outside of the country or even in the country that's wanting to know more about what the U.S. healthcare system is like, here you go. A freaking doctor is contemplating not having insurance because it costs so much. So how are we, the regular people, supposed to pay for this shit? It's just wild, man. This system is completely broken. But anyway, let's get back to it. We'll talk more about this in a second.
Insurance in the United States is such an insane mess. I didn't even think it could possibly get worse, but here we are. The health insurance that I can afford, that I can get, does not insure me outside of the state of Tennessee where I live. So if I were to cross the border and go to Kentucky and play a show and break my leg on stage, it would be 100% on me to pay for. According to ChatGPT, that would cost me between $15,000 and $40,000 out of my pocket, which I obviously do not have on my person. I would have to take out a line of credit. It would ruin my financial status in this country. I have really bad health insurance. Pretty much nothing is covered. But I just got an email from my insurance company telling me that they're going to cancel my health insurance. Not because I haven't made my payments, which has gone up exponentially since this administration came into office. I have been paying for my health insurance. I haven't been using it because it still costs me so much money to go to the doctor, even with coverage. And I have inquired about a reason. I've emailed them a couple of times and they can't give me a reason. But they are going to cancel my health insurance. This is America, land of the free. Unless, of course, you get hurt or sick, and then you might find yourself completely indebted to billion-dollar companies for the rest of your life. Cheers.
Amazon just canceled my insurance, as I am fighting stage 3 breast cancer, and I am going through my second round of chemotherapy. I have been fighting with you, Amazon, since February. Amazon, Hartford Insurance, and Cobra. Since February, we have provided you every single thing you have asked me for to determine whether or not my cancer was pre-existing and to approve me for long-term disability. And I did everything you asked. I sent in every single physician statement for my oncologist, for my radiologist, for my surgeon. I sent you everything. And we have not heard back. And we keep calling and leaving messages. And so you keep delaying it. Now Amazon sent me a letter saying that they have terminated my insurance. Do you know how expensive chemo is? And now I have lung damage from radiation. So the Amazon, this is how you care for your employees. Who do all the right things, who give you everything, and then when they go through cancer, you terminate them.
I have a family of 4, and I'm paying over $25,000 a year solely on health insurance premiums, over $2,000 a month, and my deductible is still $7,500, which means my insurance doesn't really kick in until I spend $7,500 on medical costs that are actually in network. I'm at the point, honestly, where I'm thinking about foregoing health insurance entirely, which sounds like a pretty crazy and scary concept, but here we are. But the prices have skyrocketed as insurers are on the hook for ever-increasing medical procedures, hospital costs through the roof, drug prices are exorbitant and continue to increase, and the American population is generally morbidly sick and obese. So here we are. Honestly thinking long and hard about whether I just forego insurance entirely this year. Would love to have an extra $2,500 in my pocket a month.
I think that this is so sad and so messed up that we live in America and we have to even worry about health insurance in the first place, let alone that it costs an arm and a leg, no pun intended, to cover yourself. My health insurance plan for my family of 4 is around $1,600 a month, and we have a high-ass deductible, I think like $16,000 on the year. So before they even start covering anything, if something bad happens, I have to pay $16,000. What the hell kind of coverage is that? Impossible in this country. Well, how does Canada do it? How does Germany do it? How does Switzerland do it? How do these countries do it? And we're the greatest country in the world, and we have people that are risking life or death because your premiums are so high that there's no way that they can afford them. But health insurance isn't the only thing that's wrong. House insurance, car insurance, it's all messed up. So let's take a look at some other accounts of how great insurance is.
I know people say car insurance is a scam, medical insurance is like the bane of your existence, but can we talk about home insurance? Why don't we talk about this more? Like, isn't it crazy that you can buy a house for $100,000 and the insurance company can just say, well, we think it's valued at $200,000. But then we calculated the cost to replace your home and we decided you need to be insured for $400,000. And there's no way you can change it. There's nothing you can do about it. Every insurance company is going to have a different calculation for your home's value, and you just have to pay the insurance for that value on your home, regardless of what it actually costs. I don't understand that. How can you get away with that? Then that's besides all the people that are not even able to get insured anymore because they just decided that your home is too risky. Like, isn't that the point? I'm paying for insurance because if something were to happen, you're supposed to pay it out. Just saying, oh, we can't insure you because we think there's too much of a likelihood that we'll have to pay you for a new home. What's the point?
All right, I'm going to go on a quick rant real quickly about homeowners insurance. I'm getting in my truck, so bear with me. So I want to see if anybody else is experiencing this. So last year, my homeowners insurance for the year was $3,018. Okay. Year before that, it was $2,600. Year before that, $2,200. Year before that, $2,100. I've owned this house for 4 years. So it's went from $2,100 4 years ago to I just got my renewal quote. Remember, 2024 was $3,018. This year, my homeowner's insurance is over $6,000. No claims in the last 4 years. I've never had a claim against the house I'm living in now. But my insurance just doubled. Homeowners insurance doubled year over year with no claims. I'm just curious. I'm in South Carolina. Is anybody else seeing this? And what are you doing about it to combat it?
We bought our house in April of this year. In May, we moved in. And then in June, our insurance company decided to drop our homeowner's insurance, just cancel the policy. They said it was because of our roof. We had an inspection on our house. We knew everything about the roof. We knew that part of it had been replaced 2 years ago because of a claim. We knew that the other half still had about 5 to 8 years left. And we thought we'd be fine because we also made repairs on the roof right after we moved in. Actually, before we moved in. That's why we moved in a little bit later. It was incredibly stressful going back and forth with this company once they said that they were going to cancel our policy and the roof was too old. Like, everyone that's looked at the roof, we've gotten second opinions. Our agent thought it would be fine, but then underwriting, they just had a completely different opinion. So we ended up going back and forth for a little bit, and the insurance company just eventually was like, nope, we're not covering you. We're done. Goodbye. And we're shopping around for new insurance. I thought buying a new home and moving to an area that we loved would be so wonderful and amazing, but instead it's been stress after stress after stress. And this has been the biggest one, and not one I expected, because we got a home inspection. We knew what was wrong with the house. We thought we knew everything. And then our insurance company just comes along and punches us in the face.
Insurance in this country is such a joke. They are not your friends. They take your money every single month on time. They don't miss a day. But as soon as you need to file a claim, now they got a lot of questions. They got questions that need answers. They got to do some investigations. They got to do some mediations. They need to get to the bottom of whatever it is you telling them happened. Meanwhile, they never had to investigate where that money came from when they was taking it out your account every month. They never had any questions. They wanted to get paid. But now when it's your turn to get paid, they're going to take their sweet little time. And then if you got in car insurance and somebody running to you, your rate's going up. Your rate's because now you high risk because other people don't know how to drive. Even though you pay your insurance every month. And if the other people got insurance, you got to make sure that they got insurance that's comparable to your insurance, because if they got subpar insurance, they may not cover what your car costs, which is insane to me. How the hell their insurance don't cover what your car got going on? Why I got to go through my insurance? And then after I go through my insurance, my rate's going to go up because now I'm high risk. I'm high risk because other people ain't paying attention. This is all a scam. At this point, if you're not going to give me the money that I need in order to fix my car, just give me back all the money that I paid you over the years, and I can take that money and then fix my car. I can just keep me a little just-in-case nest fund over here. That way I ain't even got to deal with y'all. I hate insurance companies in this country. Trash!
Can we all come together as a society and agree to stop paying our car insurance altogether until they lower rates? It is such a scam. God forbid you get in a car accident. Your rate is going to go up forever. Your rate moving forward, even if it wasn't even your fault, you go to use the car insurance that you've been paying for forever, and they're going to raise your rate, and it wasn't even your fault. It's like, damn, I've never used a damn thing. I've been giving y'all all this money, and now when I need a little bit of it, you're going to charge me more for it. We've been getting fleeced. It's a scam, man. We all got to come together, stop paying it.
Car insurance is the biggest scam in America. How did car insurance become the law? And how is it okay that the insurance costs more than the monthly payment for the car? And if I haven't been in a car accident in ever, why can't I get my money back if I've proven that I'm a good driver? And why am I being punished for how other drivers drive? And why is my car insurance rate depending on my credit? What does my finances and my credit have to do with driving?
Those are all valid questions that I don't have answers to. Only question I can answer is, will these rates increase? In my opinion, 100%. Everything with insurance in this country is completely backwards. When you need it, they try to deny you. It's hard to even afford in the first place. And then if you do use it, they're going to jack up the rate so you can't afford it. And then if you're living in a high-risk area, they'll just completely drop your coverage. Like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to cover you. We don't need to give you an explanation. You're just risky. Bye. And the guy said to boycott car insurance. You can't do that because they made it part of the law. You have to have it or you can't drive your car. They will take your car and your license. But with these prices, it's not surprising that, like, what is it, like 30-40% of people drive without car insurance? It's like it's a ridiculously high number. I feel like we're going to look back at this in 100 years and look at it like we look at cavemen now. Like, damn, bro, you could have put a door on the cave to keep the draft out. Like, it should be very simple. You pay a price, you get covered if something bad happens, and your rate shouldn't go up. In my opinion, even if it's your fault, it shouldn't go up. But at very least, if it's not your fault, your rates definitely shouldn't go up. That is insane. So it's just messed up. You guys let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. I try to cover topics like this that affect us all every week. If you're into that, subscribe, leave a like for the video, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one.